Okay.
Yeah, I want to keep that like low key for now.
Right. You want to have a little pizzazz when you
Hmm.
announce it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to keep. I don't like everyone knowing it's recording now, and I'll probably keep this part in since we're not talking about the specific subject.
Okay.
But I just kind of like to keep because something still may happen, and we're still 3 months, 3 months away.
It's
But
gonna
yeah,
go
I'm,
that
I'm
fast.
excited about the opportunity, and I don't want everyone knowing like what I'm going to be doing
Yeah.
or potentially talking about because then uh who knows what can happen. So, but I have a couple months to prepare, and luckily I have friends like you who are going to give me some good pointers and all that stuff. But um
Hell yeah.
first and foremost, how are you?
I am. I'm good today. I don't know. I'm feeling, just trying to stay hopeful, exhausted, but
Yeah.
yeah, I really needed. I'm glad we're doing this because I needed like a good conversation.
Yeah, and
So
I'm glad. Thanks for coming back on. This is
yeah,
your second time, and I actually re-listened to our first episode, which is crazy because it was like 6 months ago now, something like actually almost.
what?
Yeah, it was 7 months ago because I think it was on my birthday, November 4th or the day before my birthday.
Yeah, it
Y-
was.
Yeah. Damn, that was holy dang. I didn't
Last
realize
year.
that. I just want to make sure we're recording because I've
It
made that
says it
mistake.
on my end.
Uh-huh. I can't believe it's been 7 months. Dang.
Yes, yeah, I was looking at our videos from the military influencer conference, all
Yeah.
those like short ones I took.
Oh, did you? Yeah. I saw you were like I sent you that thing where you were like in the promo or they sent like some you were in like some
Yes.
background shot or something, which I thought was pretty cool. But
Yeah,
um
I love that picture. I was like, that's a good one
yeah,
at
so I'm,
least.
I'm glad to have you back, and I appreciate. I just like always just chatting with you and messaging back and forth, and you're always so responsive, which is cool because like to me you're big time. So it's you are. But I saw a quote today, or excuse me, yesterday. 'Cause we originally, I'm sorry, actually I saw it on Monday, and the quote is it's attributed to Ralph Waldo Emerson. But the quote is, "Life is a destination. Life is a journey, not a destination."
Mm,
And that made me think of you. And I went back and re-listened to our episode or the first episode we did together. And the quote I opened up that episode with is time, so I'm paraphrasing, but time is the only currency which we don't know how much balance we have left. Um,
mm-hmm.
but anyway, when you hear that quote about Ralph Waldo Emerson or attributed to him, it's not actually his quote, I don't think, but either way, just life is a journey, not a destination. What does that make you think of?
It makes me think of my high school graduation party.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah, my theme was Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. And so I love that book because it just shows like you're just starting your journey. It's all
Yeah.
about just starting your journey and you don't know what's ahead, but just how to stay positive and every up and down is part of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like life's a journey. And yeah, it's a good reminder because yeah, I didn't know like even that graduation from high school 18, I had no clue
Yeah.
all the places I would go, my Navy journey, moving so many times. So,
That's interesting because like the places you said the places you'll go, right? That was the theme. I mean,
hmm
I just had my retirement ceremony 3 weeks ago, and I served for it'll be 23 years at the in
wow,
total,
that's
which is
awesome.
crazy. Like it's crazy to say that
hmm
I did 23 years. That doesn't seem real to me. But you talked about your theme high school graduation party.
Yes.
I actually feel like because I've had people ask me like, and it's only been a couple weeks, but people have asked me, "Hey, how you feeling? How you feeling? What's it like?" And I felt
Oh,
like I'm 18 or 19 again, like that summer after graduating high school,
yeah.
where there's like the whole world's in front of me.
Right. Here's the book.
Yeah, that's good. I
And my
love it.
dress was like these colors.
Oh, really? I was gonna ask
Yeah.
if you dressed up like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but that's what I feel like now is almost like I'm 18 or 19 again.
Yeah, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know, but it's and I have time, but I do have to make a decision. But it's freeing. It's so liberating. Where I feel like that kid again, where I have all these different options, and man, it's a good freaking feeling. It really is.
That's awesome. I have one question.
Yeah.
Where's the beard?
The beard. So I actually shaved today, and I had gone a couple weeks. I don't look good with. I'm not a beard guy, so I actually got a haircut yesterday.
I was gonna say, yeah, your hair is nice and in regulation still.
Yeah. So, but a big step for me is when I was active duty, I would probably get my haircut every 9 to 10 days. That was like my tempo. I would either get a haircut on Wednesday or Sunday. But I got a haircut yesterday, and I went 3 weeks between haircuts, which was a big step for me. But it just looks weird on me. Like I'll probably still get haircuts every 2 weeks or so, because I feel like I'm at my best when I just have a fresh cut. It's just part of who I am. But even before I joined the military, I always had this look. When I waited tables before I joined the military, people would ask me all the time, "Hey, are you in the military? Are you in the army or whatever?" And so I've always been clean cut, but I had some facial hair, and when I shaved yesterday, you could see it was really white on the sides, just from. But it doesn't
tan
look
lines,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and my wife doesn't like it, so
no.
No.
Well, that's what really matters, right?
It does. Yeah, I got to keep up my appearances for her, so she's the one, trying to make her happy.
She calls the shots.
She does. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like what you're sorting through, and you're going to be for a while now. Is what you want to keep, what you want to change, what you want to bring with you to civilian life, what you don't. So you're figuring that out.
I was reading an article on LinkedIn earlier today from I think her last name's Ruttenberg, Jessica Ruttenberg. I think that's how you say her last name. But she was just talking about, I think she dyed her hair pink. And she was talking about once you separate or retire, whatever your situation is, what's the thing that you do? And it was a pretty good article, and she's talking about for the men, hey, I see your beards, I appreciate your beards, and I recognize it, and it was just really good.
Yep. And then the women, we get the crazy nails or do the hair color.
Yeah. So what's next for you? What's going on with you? And I do have something fun to ask you about, but I want to hear about life stuff first.
Yeah. So right now I'm really just focusing on different opportunities. I'm really trying to maximize my reach online.
Yeah.
I've been on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, putting out plenty of content. I've been having fun with that. Just being able to sit down and work on content has been fun. Yeah, applying to jobs.
How often are you posting now?
I've got, so on TikTok, once a day.
Yeah.
And really, I'm just recycling old stuff.
Yeah.
And keeping it up there. I'm trying to get to 10,000 before the end of summer.
Okay.
I'm about to crack 1,000.
Nice.
So I think we'll keep it up.
That's one platform I've just been bad about being consistent on anything. I've seen to have the best traction on Instagram.
Okay.
So I'll probably focus more on that, just time and bandwidth. But I know TikTok's been big for a lot of people.
It is, and I was against it for a while, but Instagram's just been garbage lately. My real views are so down, and I think it's because I'm not paying to play. I'm not going to pay to get verified.
Oh,
so
yeah.
They're not. I don't know if that's it, but I've talked to a lot of other creators, and they're saying, their real count has been down too. So
are they paying as or not paying?
They aren't paying.
Yes, I think that's a good point. It's they're trying to force people to, yeah.
Right.
But, yeah. Same thing on some of the other platforms. Hey, so we were talking about the DRP stuff before we started recording. So what's that transition been like for you, and how are you feeling? What's going through your mind? And
yeah, I'll be real. It was really messing with me because just everything that's going on in the government right now, I'm why am I being pushed out? I'm a able-bodied person. I can work. Why is it so important for me to get pushed out for this greater purpose of cutting funding? It really sent me into a spiral, which I'm still trying to figure out. So I think because there was just so much controversy behind it that, you know, it wasn't just like, you know, like, okay, we got to cut people because the budget's this. It was more, it was just like, I don't know, so much behind it. Anyhow, that was really taxing on me, and then just trying to speak out about it, and then pretty much my command saying, you can't talk about this anymore, you need to take everything down. So
really?
Yeah. Someone found my videos and they were not happy.
Just they found your Instagram videos and
yeah.
Wow.
They were not happy because I showed pictures of what it was like where we were working, and you're not supposed to take pictures on base, and I was like,
wow. Was it like the office picture or something, or like I think I remember you posting something like,
yeah, it went pretty viral. Like over,
yeah, I remember seeing
over
that.
like 3 million views.
Wow.
So someone saw it and they got, yeah, it's pretty easy to find that it was me.
You mentioned
like
that
find out who I am.
Yeah.
Or where I work.
You mentioned about like kind of spiraling and just like having all these emotions. Like what's something that you've been doing? What's a resource that's been helping you, or even if it's a person, or is it like any program?
Honestly, like having my women veterans that I've met around here, just talking to them, really just venting has been helpful to me. But good coping mechanisms, I'm still working on. I'm kind of just like, I need to get back on track.
What are you hoping like it's going to happen the next, we'll say 90 days or 180 days?
Like I said, I tell myself every day I'm going to get good news, and I truly believe what's meant for me is out there, and I just have to be open to receiving it and ready. So I'm just really keeping my mind open and keeping that hope alive, which has been hard. But yeah, I'd love to have a secure employment by then, and just doing something I love, because it's been great when I do have free time working on stuff I love.
More important than anything we discussed, are we still watching The Traitors?
Oh my gosh, yes. This season was amazing.
So that clip that I posted, because I think that's probably been the best, like, for me, I've I don't want to say how many like views I've got on it, but for me, it's been one of my best like performing clips.
What? Wait, did you post the one that you sent me the other day?
No, not yet. No. But it was there was one, right, just overall clip from that episode. I said, who the people you would pick. That's I probably got the best traction on that one.
That was so fun.
Yeah, I love that, and I love like just because you were like, I think about this stuff.
I do before I go to sleep. I mean, I'm making my dream cast of Real Housewives. Who would be the perfect?
Okay. So what, like, if you were to cast me in a show right now, like what would you cast me in? Knowing that I'm like somewhat free from the military, I still got some time left. So
okay. Well, let's put you right back in. Let's put you in Special Forces, World's Toughest Test.
So I swear to God, I was just thinking that, and I was gonna bring that up. I have not finished season 3, so please don't like. I'm still.
I didn't either. I never finished it.
So I'm on episode 8. But I am big into that show, man.
It's good.
Yeah, that show is really good. I've actually been reaching out to like the instructors saying, "Hey, man, you want to come on my podcast?" And
I have the biggest crush on Rudy.
Oh, really? So like he's a good looking man. Like he's in his 50s and like
He liked one of my Instagram posts, and I was like freaking out. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then my husband's like, "Stop! That's not fair."
Yeah, I bet you've reached out to him. He would, if you did like a podcast, I bet he would. Or if you haven't reached out to him already. Yeah. So did you interview Scott Hastings recently?
Yes, Scotty, yes.
Oh yeah, sorry, Scotty Hastings. So how did that come about, and how excited were you for that opportunity?
I was really excited because I followed him on Facebook for a long time. Yeah. I don't know, he did an interview with someone a long time ago, and I was like, who's this person? And like, just to see him go from, just really trying to make it to like on a stage, like the Memorial Day program. It's crazy.
So, like, was this all part of the same thing you did last year with Bryan Cranston?
Yes, yeah. So before promoting it, they had asked a few of us to do a Zoom call and just ask questions, and then, just promoting the Memorial Day program on PBS.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Man, like, how did that all come about?
Right. If you're interested, I'll totally I'll pitch you for it next year.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you'd be great. And Melinda, who runs it, she's always looking for more guys to be a part of it, 'cause it's
Man, like, I'm free. I'm free.
okay.
So,
I will let her know.
yeah, that's amazing. I remember messaging last year after Bryan Cranston. I was like, I'll say the clean version, but I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And like that was such a power move.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that. I was just
like that whole clip. I love that clip because even like you had Hey Brother playing, like, I don't know if you picked that song.
I did.
Everything about it was just perfect. I was so proud of you, and I was so like amped up, and I was like, oh my God, I got to message Jenna. That was so cool.
That was the last podcast I ever posted to my actual, uploaded to my podcast. So I was like, I ended it on a high note.
Yeah.
The highest note.
Are you going to bring back your podcast?
Probably not. I love the conversations. I love being a guest, but the hosting, it's really the scheduling that's hard, and the editing and everything. It's a lot of work. I'd rather put that towards content, at least for now.
Yeah, so that's where I was struggling, because I'll go through like spurts where I'll have I posted 9 weeks in a row, 9 episodes in a row, or one a week, whatever. But it's just hard for me to keep up. And I do have some time this summer, so I'm hoping I will be more consistent moving forward. But because I was really getting to a groove, like I had you on, I had Jennifer Marshall, I had Vincent Vargas,
awesome.
like Rocco Vargas from the actor and Army veteran. Yeah,
Yes.
Mayans MC. I had Michael Rodriguez from the Global War on Terrorism Memorial Foundation.
Yes.
I mean, it was crazy. Like I was like on this, like in a groove, but it's just timing. And that's part of the reason what drove my decision to retire was I want to do more of this. And I love the military. The military's been so great to me. There's been some downs too, but it's,
yeah.
I had Chief Bass on. If you haven't checked that one out.
Yes.
That was good. She got a little, not mad, but joking. She was, because I was hitting her with hard questions, and yeah.
I'm surprised she doesn't have more of a wall, like PR wise, like a publicist asking for questions.
She does. Because I've had people reach out to me like, hey, can you get me on her podcast, or can you get her on my podcast? And I don't feel comfortable doing that stuff, right?
Yeah. What
helped me was, so on the Air Force side, I would cross paths with her just based on my position and everything. And I'd be in the same TDYs or conferences with her, and I would have like a way to talk to her. So there was, I met her in person for the first time like 3 years ago. So there was a little back history. But what really did it was at MIC last year, because I was still active duty and she was freshly retired, but no one's in uniform, right? And then I realized that she was one of the people being recognized, and I was like, damn. And then she was with 2 other people that were active duty or about to retire that I knew. So I was just like, man, this is kind of like a good opportunity. So her and I ended up talking, and her 2 friends, for maybe like 2 or 3 hours downstairs in the lobby one night. I think it might have been the night of the banquet. I forget exactly when, but that interview, like, because even I've had people ask me like, how'd you get her? And numbers wise, it's probably one of my better performing downloads over the past couple of years. But that wasn't just like, hey, you're gonna be on my podcast. It was kind of like a 2-year thing. But
right, you got to have like those touch points before.
Yeah, right.
And then people feel it's easier for people to say yes.
Yeah, like I haven't asked her yet, but I know she'll say yes. But I'm going to ask Barbara Sim. Is it Sim or Sims? Yeah.
Yeah, she would totally.
Yeah, she's and I know she, like, you guys are friends, and obviously I talked to her a little bit at MIC, but there's just been a lot of people. I kind of look back at some of your old episodes because like you've had a crazy Rolodex of people, and I'm like, oh man, that's how I found out about a lot of people. I was like, I'm gonna reach out to this person now because I saw they did your show and everything.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I did 3.5 years. I didn't take that many breaks either. It was like almost every Sunday.
Yeah, no. I know, like it was. That's why you grew because I can remember when you had like 2,000 followers, and then all of a sudden you had like 30.
Yeah, it happened quick.
Yeah, but
it's your turn.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this break and everything, and my effective retirement date's not till 1 November, and then I am taking my family on a trip this summer for 2 weeks. Yeah, so just a big family vacation, which we're gonna go to Europe for 2 weeks, which I'm pretty excited about.
What parts?
I'll message you later because I don't want to put everything out there, but
right.
But we're gonna visit a couple countries, so I'm pretty stoked about that. But yeah, I've had people ask me like, hey, what do you want to accomplish over this time? And it's just really, I want to be more deliberate with my podcast because I know I'm onto something. I just don't know. I just trying to get to that point of being consistent with it. Mm-hmm. And just taking it to that next level. So that's where my head is.
Yeah, get it. You'll get that rhythm down and just keep doing it. Do the clips, do the promotions. If you're interested in like going on a network, there's a few networks that are always looking for. Yeah. And then you can collaborate with the other people on there. So there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah. So what can I do for you, or how can I just continue like serving you? And because you, whether you realize it or not, like you've been a source of inspiration for me. And I know I'll send you like those random texts or like those random like messages on Facebook, like, hey, like that was really cool what you did today. Like keep it up. It inspires me and stuff. But
yeah, no, I mean, honestly, it's been great. And I'm glad I got to meet you in person and, really be able to call you a friend. And those messages mean more to me than I can really express because I get in my own head and, you see me from the screen and everything, and I do try to be like transparent and real online, but a lot of times I am just like second guessing myself or like wanting to just throw it all away, saying whatever, I don't even care. So yeah, like those are either get screenshotted or saved in my folder that awesome. Says appreciation, love comments and stuff like that because I read them on my rainy days.
I had some fun questions I was gonna ask you, but I can't find them right now because I record on a different computer, so I have everything saved to my desktop.
Okay.
Did you have any questions for me or anything that on your mind that you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, because you're like entering a whole new journey, and it seems like you have it planned out. And you're pretty early in it, and I'm not trying to be cynical at all. But are you prepared for when it really hits you? Maybe some point after November 1st, or when it really is official, and you're doing the right thing by having your purpose right now, but. When it hits you like, hey, I'm out. Like, I'm not, like, it's not last name Air Force. It's just Martin,
I'm not ready. And I think a lot of people say they're ready. I don't know how you can be, especially for me. Yeah. I joined because of 9/11. Wow. I remember September 10th of 2001. It was a Monday, and I was watching Monday Night Football. It was New York Giants versus the Denver Broncos. Yeah. And I remember this because that's kind of this is a long-winded answer to your question, but it was kind of the end of a chapter in world history. And September 11th was page 1 of a new chapter, right? Mm-hmm. I remember there was this wide receiver for the Broncos got hurt in that game, a nasty career-ending type injury, right? I mean, his knee was just wrecked. And I remember thinking, and I was eating dinner at my sister's house. We're having ravioli. And I remember thinking or saying, oh man, that's going to be all over the news tomorrow. Well, obviously I had class Tuesday morning. The next day I cut class. I didn't even know about obviously, and it was in Oklahoma. So, skipped class. So I slept in. And by the time I woke up, everything had happened with the Twin Towers. And then, so that was on September 11th. And I had to go to work that day. And it was just a weird feeling. And at the time, it wasn't like now where everyone could just check, social media and get all, like, people didn't know what was going on. And I remember gas shooting up to $5 a gallon. And this is in like small town Oklahoma. The next day, I went to enlist, and I waited in line for 5 hours. And so many people, like, it was backed up. They actually had to turn people away. So I had to go back to the very next day on September 13th. And there's so many people that enlisted during that time that I was in the late entry program for over a year, for 14 months. I didn't leave for basic until November 19th. November 19th of 2002 was my first day, or my start date in basic or whatever. So that's why I joined. I remember all these things vividly. And then all of a sudden, and I remember when I got to my first training school at Fort Huachuca, Arizona. I was in E3 at the time, and there was this guy, this E8, the senior master sergeant, that was briefing all of us, and he said he was retiring the next week. And at this point, this is in January of 2003. He was retiring the next week, and after 22 years, and I remember thinking, like, God, I can't imagine what it's like to be in for over 20 years. And then here I am after 23 years. And yeah, so it's just hard. Like, I know a lot of people struggle, and I don't blame them. I sympathize and I empathize with them, just because it's part of who you are. Like, I had my retirement ceremony 3 weeks ago, and I gave my speech. And during my speech, I mentioned something along the lines of, if you see tears running down my face, each one of those tears represents a memory, happiness, sorrow, heartbreak, celebration, a person, camaraderie. And I mean, just 23 years of that. So I know it's going to be tough. Like I said, there's been some ups and downs I've had in the military, but there's been a lot of great moments too. And it's going to hit me just because I have a certain rank in the military, and people call me by that rank for short. And then all of a sudden that's going to stop. And, not that like that's my identity, but it's just different.
It is though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is.
And my daughter did the math. She loves numbers, but I've been in the Air Force she did the math the other day. I've been in the Air Force for 52.75% of my life.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I've been in I think something like that. I'm 43 years old. I'll be 44 later this year. And, I've been in for 23 years. So it's just, yeah. So, I mean, over half of my life has been serving. Yeah. So it's going to hit me. And there's just certain things, like, it's hard to turn off because my phone was always ringing. Someone always calling me, asking for something, emails nonstop. And then, yeah. But I have closure. I think that's one thing where a lot of people may struggle, is because they didn't necessarily get closure. I had a retirement ceremony, not that people need to have one, not, nor do they want one, but I was fortunate enough to where I had a lot of people fly in, family and friends. So just, yeah. So just
gotta write that down, because that's really interesting.
Yeah.
To me. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. Just a closure, and it was just a celebration. Yeah. So I think I get why people don't have one, but sometimes I feel like maybe people are scared to have, after they retire. I think when they're retiring, I think they're scared to have a retirement ceremony because they're afraid of the outcome for some reason, But
yeah,
no, for me, it was a way to honor my family, or have my family honored, my wife and my kids, and just a way for me to publicly say thank you in a big forum. But yeah, so again, long answer, but I know I'm gonna struggle, because I love it, but I also love other things. I love my family. There's other things I want to accomplish. My dad died when he was 51. I'll be 44 this year, so that played a big part of me retiring too. Is if I knew I was going to die in 7 years, how would I want to spend the rest of my life? Those 7 years. Well, obviously, I'd want to spend. Because I was 11 years old when my dad died. So I think, like, okay, if I knew I was going to die in 7 years, I'd obviously want to spend as much time as possible with my family.
Yes.
In addition, I'd be like, you know what? I want to go accomplish this thing I've been wanting to do. And I'm probably going to live to like 90. There's other things. As much as I love the Air Force, it's been so great to me. There's these other things that I got to try. I got to try. And I know if I don't, and I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait till I'm 48 or 50. Not that that's old. That's still young. But I got to do this now. So I think like I still have I wouldn't say a purpose, but things I want to get after. And the podcast is a big thing. The podcast, I'm not making any money from this podcast. As a matter of fact, I spent a lot of money on it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you get it for sure. But I do this just because it's therapeutic. It's an outlet. Helping myself. I feel like it does help other people.
It's going to help you process this whole journey. And I tell people it's like an onion. You just keep finding more and more things, more layers to it. And, when you feel that or have like a revelation, turn to the mic or write it down.
Yeah.
Make it into content and make sure you share it because, that's really going to resonate with so many people who listen to you and follow you.
Yeah. And I streamed my retirement ceremony on Facebook. And the amount of like people that watched it and commented I was like, man, it was very like, not that you need the validation, but it's good. It's a good feeling too. Right. And it's just, I'm just glad I was able to capture that moment in time.
Yeah. And like you said, closure, I think that's so important. And I don't think, unless you're retiring, even if, you don't choose that, most of us don't get that. And that's really important. I always say that about, relationships. It's if you don't get that closure, and it's a relationship, a very complicated one, but you need that. And it's so much easier to move on.
Yeah. No, so I just, but I'm excited. I'm excited about my next chapter, but I don't know like what all that entails.
And also write down everything you're excited about in case you need to go back to that too.
No, that's good. That's really good. But I don't have a job lined up or anything. But I'll deal with that when the time comes. But I also just want my time. I feel like I haven't had my time in over 23 years. So even like the 6 months leading up to my retirement, people would often ask me like, well, what do you want? Like, what's your goal in retirement? My time. I want my time. I just, like I was thinking about on Monday night, it was the holiday and I was thinking like, man, like a lot of people were like, they probably enjoyed the 3-day or 4-day or whatever it is they got. And they're thinking like, damn, I got to go back to work tomorrow. But for me, it's just, I don't. And it's just, it's a good feeling too.
Yeah, I felt that too. I was like, Tuesday doesn't suck as much except for getting the kids up and
yeah.
Oh, but yeah, it is. It's a weird time.
Yeah.
Especially when you're used to going for so many years. It feels, you could almost feel like guilty or like just weird about spending your time like that.
Yeah, so I've just been lifting weights on a more consistent schedule, and I've been keeping it pretty simple. I've been actually sleeping 8 hours a night, like just these simple things that I haven't gone on any great adventures, or I don't like, I think sometimes people have all these like these grand plans. Like for me, I just want to be normal. But
just be, just be.
Hey, do you have like time for like one more question or like? Hey, so you mentioned the show Special Forces. So I love the question I asked you last time because the look on your face. Go back and watch that clip if you just watched.
I got so excited.
Yeah, like it was just like, what? If you will say out of military influencers, and I think they usually have 16 on the show, but we'll make it 5 for you.
Oh.
You and 5 other people. If you and 5 other podcasters, influencers, however you want to label people, we're going to be on that show, who would you pick?
That's interesting to be on Special Forces with. Well, I want to win, right? So you're supposed to choose people that you think will drop out.
So no, like I mean, there's professional athletes on the first 2 seasons that the girl. Have you watched season 1?
Yes.
The girl, like, so the girl from The Bachelorette won, I think.
Yes, Hannah
Hannah
Brown,
that's right,
the
yeah.
beast.
And I mean, she was going like Danny Amendola was a big time football player, and it was more than just the conditioning, because he was crushing all the conditioning stuff, but the mental aspect of everything were
right. And
yeah.
that's why I say Bachelorette is actually a sport, and they know how to compete harder than any of these folks, because if you look at season 2, 2 Bachelor players won the season.
On Special Forces, who won season 2? I did
Season
watch.
2 was Nick Viall and Tyler Cameron.
That's right.
Both from The Bachelor.
That's right.
And Bachelorette, and I think she was a speed skater. She won as well.
Yes.
Like all 3 of them tied. But I'm saying, like, the mental toughness, like, that's what Bachelor players go through. Like, they get, it's like insane what they go through. So they know how to play. Don't count them out. Even on Traders, they do great on Traders too.
Right, so
Gabby Wendy just won Traders. She's Bachelorette. Gabby Wendy. Yeah, they are competitors. Never roll them out in these games.
I think there was a girl from my hometown that was on The Bachelor or Bachelorette. I forget. Yeah.
I need to know.
She's from Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure it's Lawton, Oklahoma. Let me look this up real quick.
Please. I'm like a super fan, so.
I think so.
I totally derailed your question.
We'll get back to it. Allison Harrington. She was on season 22.
This sounds familiar.
You know, my hometown of Lawton, aka L-Town, aka the name of the boy band that I was in 1999 to 2000. That's right, Jenna. I was in a boy band.
Wait, what was it called?
L-Town, because I'm from Lawton, Oklahoma.
And she's a person.
So we produced also Miss America 1 year.
Oh, who was that?
Lauren Nelson.
She looks familiar.
She was on America's Most Wanted too. She was you talking about Lauren Nelson?
I'm looking her up now. Oh wow. Dang, Oklahoma.
Lawton, L-Town.
You guys got some babes.
It's true. Like my so who's your celebrity crush? I know it's kind of random. Oh, besides Rudy Reyes, like who else do we like?
Ha ha ha, yeah.
And I have a
gosh, there is.
So I'll get to mine, right? So
okay, yeah, go to yours. Who's yours?
So I've always appreciated 2 specifically. Actually, we'll say 3. In no particular order, but Jennifer Lawrence, Rachel McAdams, and Amy Adams, and right. And I mean, you know how it is being in, right? Like at some point, like you work with people or you work shift work or have to work a weekend or whatever, right? You just talk about random stuff, especially at 2:00 in the morning. But I'll never forget, we were talking about celebrity crushes. And I was like, you know, Rachel McAdams and Amy Adams. And someone was like, yeah, that makes sense, Foster. And I'm like, what do you mean? They were like, dude, like your wife looks like Rachel McAdams. And then ever since someone told me that, it's like I see it. Like I totally see it. Like she 100% could pass for Rachel McAdams. So
that's funny. So what came first, the crush or your wife? Or do you think like having that crush led you to pick your wife?
My wife, because we started dating in January of 2001.
Okay, so you think you like Rachel McAdams because she reminds you of your wife?
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and because I really didn't know about Rachel McAdams until I think The Notebook came out.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's funny you said Jennifer Lawrence, because that's my husband's, like, that's his celebrity crush.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't look like her.
Yes, and then Amy Adams. But I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I met my wife first, which we met at a club.
Yeah, so she reminds you of your wife.
Yeah, but anyway, so like to your point, yes, Lawton, Oklahoma has some babes. It's got some babes for sure.
Yes. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like learning the lore. Like as soon as I find out like a new singer or someone I like, I'm like, where are they from? You know, like where do they come from? You know, I want to read about their backgrounds.
Yeah. All right. So special forces, go. Like who are
Oh
the
yeah,
people?
I thought of some people because they're athletes and that reminded me of it. I can't think of her name. I thought of Riley. What's her last name?
T
Didn't you
Jack. Yeah.
you interviewed her?
Yeah. That's probably so I'm going to submit for podcast award. And if I think you have to pick an episode that you want to submit, but I think I'm going to go with the one I did for her or did with her. And I was asking her questions. She was like, and she's done a ton of podcasts, and she's like, no one's ever asked me that before. There's like 4 or 5 moments in that interview. So I was like, man, it's a good one.
I think you're great at that though. You really get to understand people and what they like, and that's how you can ask those really good questions instead of the generic ones.
Yeah.
And you do that. You do that like detective work, that research before
I
you
appreciate
have
that.
someone come on.
So it's thank you for, 'cause I do a lot of research. You know, like my job in the Air Force is like I'm an intel analyst by trade. So it's like I've always, but even growing up, I've always been real big into researching, and like I was obsessed with baseball stats and sports trivia. So I'd always read tons of anything I could. But I take pride in that, and I just feel like that's when I'm at my best. And I think when we did our podcast, I always have notes about people, right? And you know, and it just and not that like I already know the answer, but like I'm asked something, hey, I heard you said this, or like for you, I remember I said, hey, tell us about the worst Uber store driver ever, right? You know, just because it's just something different. And there's people like I know you've been on a ton of podcasts, and Riley was on a ton of podcasts, and I asked her about her parents on the game show Lingo with her mom. And she was like, no one ever talks about that. The way her face lit up, and it makes me feel good. But I love doing that just because it's a different story.
Yes, you did it to Jennifer Marshall too.
So for her, that was crazy because I've been trying to get her. So we met on the set of Hawaii Five-0 in 2018, and because I'm an actor too, and I was in that scene. They showed her highlight reel at Mick before she came on stage to be the moderator or whatever, the MC. Mm-hmm. They showed her like doing the scene speaking Hawaii Five-0. She's talking to me like I'm in that scene, but they're not showing me.
That is so cool.
And I remember Teresa, who I didn't know at the time, I know her now, but Teresa Carpenter from SOS Podcast was sitting right next to me. And I'm like, that's my shoulder. That's me. And I actually had a line. But I got to spend a lot of time with Jennifer Marshall that day. And she was so kind to me. And then, so anyway, but I've been trying to get her on my podcast like since then. And then talking to her at Mick, and then a few months later, she was also obviously my podcast. But over like the past like 5 years, because I'll take notes on my phone about people, and I just listen to her on other podcasts. But I read something about like an article written like in her hometown newspaper about she used to like play this old tape recording of her grandmother, like it's a 15-second clip. So then I asked, did you watch the interview by chance?
I watched it a while ago.
No, but I asked her, I said, hey, I brought up that clip, and I said, if there was a 15-second clip of I think I said a movie or something that, like, if there was a 15-second clip about you and your grandmother got to see it or something, like, what would you, or your grandkids or something like that, like, what would you want it to be? Something along that. Along those lines.
Really good question.
Yeah, she'd never been asked anything. Like, she was like, how did you know that? Yeah, so it's just, but I love the research because it's just fun. It's fun to me, and it's just different things. Just because I see people on podcasts, and I'll use Riley as an example again. It's a lot of the same questions that she gets, right? And and it's just okay. Like it's like I don't know. It's different. But you're really good at interviewing, and I've sent you that message before. It's giving you that feedback before. Like you do a great job of asking questions and kind of bringing stuff out of people, and specifically you do a great job of follow-up questions, because that's a key thing.
Right. And I think I it's hard to find that balance between having structure and having questions prepared.
Yeah.
But also like knowing when to lean in or like maybe pry a little bit on something and like go off schedule because you're like, oh wait, this is interesting and I didn't even know this about this person. You know, like one time I found out someone served with their dad, and I was like, oh my gosh, like let's talk about that. Like I didn't even know it just came up, and I was like, that's so cool. So.
Like for I had Rachel Oswalt on my podcast too, and I think like I asked her about Bell's palsy because I saw something that she had it like 3 or 4 years ago. So I hadn't heard her really talk about it, and that's something that I stress out about. About getting that right. So just fun things like I'm
Yeah.
not that subject's fun, but just
But
digging
it's
into
relatable.
it's relatable. Yeah, just digging in the research. But all right, so Riley T. Jack. So this is the longest answer
Yes.
ever. So
I know. We're gonna go. I was thinking Kagan. I'm thinking Kagan Dunlap. I
okay,
was thinking of people from Mick. And then what's his name? Cody Alfred.
yeah.
He was also there. I feel like he could definitely compete. Do you know who Josh Bridges is?
Yeah, the Navy SEAL and pay the man, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll choose him. I'm trying to think who else is at Mick. That's like very athletic.
I want to get him on the podcast too.
Oh, he would be so cool.
So I have a book of about 150 guests and his name's in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
I still want to peek in that book.
I'll show once we stop recording. If I don't show it to you tonight, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's your
I'm just
VIP.
curious.
Yeah, your VIP because I don't show that a whole lot of people. But it's a pretty
Manifesting.
it's a pretty like broad, it's a pretty like wide array of guests, and I've got a couple interviews lined up for the summer that I haven't told a lot of people about because I don't want to jinx it, but I'll tell you offline.
Okay.
And I think your head might explode. So yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, but it's like I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'm planning to record about 60 episodes like this summer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised like how many people live in Ohio. Like Carrie Kite lives an hour from me from Veteran Maid.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so he and I like we've both been bad. We'll text like, hey man, we need to meet up and just busy. But I know at any point I can call him and be like, hey man, you want to do a podcast, and he'll jump on it. But so we did one last year, and then I found him because of you, because you were on his podcast. And then
That was a good one.
yeah, he does a great job with questions too. I mean, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's got great energy.
He does. Like
game time, let's go.
I'm super impressed. Like not more than just his editing, but the way he asks questions and the research and stuff too.
Yeah, he's got that creative mind where he like sees.
But I want to
He
do
knows how
that
to
in
edit
person,
stuff.
and even I would love to do an in-person one with you.
Yes.
So where, like, you live in New Jersey now? Are you still good on time? I know we're way past the time. So like you live in New Jersey now, right?
Yes.
How far are you from Hoboken, or I guess New York City?
Yeah, I'm south, so I'm like outside of Philly.
Okay. Like, how far from Philly are you?
Like 40 minutes.
Really? Okay. Because I want to start traveling to cities and just, but like if it's a place where I know there's a couple people, like I'm gonna go to San Antonio at some point, and like there's like 8 or 9 people I know I could get interviews with that are there. Same thing with New Jersey. I think Lacey Alexander might live by you too.
Who's that?
She's big on like remember I told you a couple years ago I asked you about AFSA, the Air Force Sergeant Association's conference. Yes. So she's big on like that type of like on the Air Force conferences and TDYs. Like I don't know if the Navy has anything equivalent, but the Air Force has AFA and AFSA. That's kind of like a more it's an Air Force version of MIC. But she's big. Right. Yeah, but she's big in like in that world. She was on my podcast I think 2.5 years ago. In January 2023 maybe, but some stuff like that I want to go to just cities and just record with a couple people, and I'd love to do like an in-person one with you. Like I want to rent out a studio and all that, so
that would be so fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to connect with other ones. I'm actually going to an event this weekend with I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's called not Vet Dad, Bro. Is he Fit Dad CEO?
Mm-mm.
My daughter. But yeah, it's like it's called Rough Ride. It's they're raising money for service dogs for veterans, and there's going to be a few different like content creators, influencers there. So I'm excited to meet with them. It's like You know, we don't get to talk to each other a lot, so it's exciting.
How did you get linked up? Because I see you're doing all the speaking. I've seen you do some speaking gigs and stuff like that. And but how are you getting linked up? And even the stuff with PBS, like how does this even happen for you?
Honestly, just through my content, people find me. Or
Really?
like they're following me, or they're like, hey, I rarely reach out to people. It usually just comes to me, which I know isn't great advice
Yeah,
to
no,
share, but it's just really how it happens.
that's what happened to Josh. America's Most Wanted. Someone just reached out to him. And,
Wow.
Yeah, and he was on America's Most Wanted. He thought it was a scam at first, and I remember he called and told me about it. And he was like, whatever person from the show reached out to him on Instagram, and I was like, dang, man, like
It is. You have more eyes on you than you think.
yeah,
And you know, people are looking at you, and you got to think of everything as almost like a job application, or like sometimes I make content just for search engines. Like I'm like, somebody might Google this question. Let's make content out of it.
wow,
Yeah. So you can be searchable or just like blast it like that.
damn,
Like
that
I
is
want
damn. I never thought about
when
that.
people Google like younger veterans or Google millennial veterans, especially marketers, they're like, oh, we want to create this commercial, but we want to target younger veterans. I want them to just type in that on the internet and be like, oh, look at this girl.
That is so good. I never thought about that.
Yeah, think about that when you're making your content. Like, what do you want people to Google that they would lead them to you?
That's good. I do have to get going, but I still want to talk to you a little bit before offline. But before I stop recording, I still want to talk to you afterward. But did you have any parting thoughts or parting shots?
I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to the dark side.
Thank you.
No, I'm really proud of you, and I'm excited for you. And you know, I think this year is going to be huge for you. The rest of this year.
That means a lot,
Yeah.
like coming from me. I appreciate that, Jenna. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me stop recording.